Hello? Hello, am I live? Hello, I think I'm live. You guys let me know if I'm live. Welcome in, everybody, to another edition of Are Pokemon Games Good or Are They Boring? That's not the exact title of this stream series, but that's what I'm going to call it for now until I can figure out a better title. This is going to be the second part of our exploration through Generation 5. Of course, we have already done Pokemon Black version, and that VOD is up on the channel if you want to watch through that or any of the other generations up to this point. But we will be doing this, of course, for every generation of Pokemon in an attempt to find out which game holds up the best. What's going on, Light Glory? How are we doing tonight? How is everything going, my friend? Now, I have high expectations for White 2 because Gen 5 is one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time. When it first released, I didn't play it. This was during a time that I was kind of out of Pokemon. It wasn't really the cool thing at the time, you know? I kind of missed out on it for a long time until I finally played through it. And Gen 5 very quickly became one of my favorite Pokemon games. And in my mind, it still is one of my favorite Pokemon games, though it has been a long time since I've played through it just bog standard with no difficulty modifiers or anything like that. And that's what we're going to be doing tonight. Now, this is a screen that I quite love. Now, it's been a long time. Ty Leno, how are we doing, my friend? It is time to hop into Pokemon White version 2. But before we can do that, I have to hit the record button and I have to start my little timer so that we can get an accurate representation of how long I can play this game before I start to get bored. And that is going to be basically our only way to tell which game is the best. The science of subjectivity, you know? All right. As soon as the timer starts, we start. Boom. There we go. We are 4 seconds in. I'll know to take that time off. We're going to click new game. Now, as we play through these games, if you haven't watched one of these streams before, we are not going to use any speed up. We are not going to use anything. Nothing is randomized. And basically, we just play through the game until our attention span starts to waver, right? I am doing very well today. Thank you. Yeah, I had a friend come over. We watched a movie, a little bit of Always Sunny in Philadelphia as well. Kind of hung out with the dog, and now I'm here with you lovely people on a stream, playing what I think is one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time. Now, I always pick the girl character here just because I think Lucas, or no, it's not Lucas. I can't even remember the guy's name in this generation, actually. So yeah, we're just gonna go with Pixie because people like to call me that these days for some reason. So we're gonna go with Pixie, you know? It'd be really strange if I named a female character my own name, right? And I don't want to feminize my own name either. So we're just gonna go with Pixie, and everybody will know what I'm talking about. All right. And what is this guy's name? It's Hugh, right? Yeah, like I know the rival's name. So I'm just gonna put time, you know? I don't want to struggle through this too much. The whole point of this is to play these games as if I were playing them for the first time as a child, right? So we're not gonna do things probably like nickname Pokemon unless we just get a desire to. And we're not gonna randomize it. So we can catch pretty much anything at any time. We can use potions in battle. We can do all of that stuff that you're not supposed to do in Pokemon content these days. We are breaking all the rules out there and just playing a game to play the game, you know? And that may be a little bit controversial, right? We're not going to hit speed up through these cutscenes, which in Gen 5 is actually not a bad thing because they're so interesting and I love it. I love it. I love the way Gen 5 was handled. Originally, I did not actually get on board free roaming coolsies. Yeah, exactly. It's just a very chill kind of thing, you know? And I do tend to get kind of just like invested in the game in a different way, if that makes sense. Because obviously when you're playing something like Radical Red or something that's got like a lot of difficulty to it or a lot of story, You find yourself invested in a different way. Zadra, what's going on? Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome back to another edition. I feel like you've been in these streams before, but it's been so long since I've done one. I'm having a hard time remembering. See, the dialogue is the one thing I will say that doesn't really hold up well in any Pokemon game, just because everybody wants everything to move so quickly, you know? Mortal Queen, how's it going? Welcome in, welcome in. Random, everybody is here. Love to see all the different names in chat. The beginning of a stream is like my favorite time. Just seeing the names pop up on the chat screen for the first time. You love Pokemon White? So do I. So do I. Another Gen 5 lover in the house. And of the two, I remember specifically, Says, what's going on? How is it going? Do I want to have a Pokemon? Well, yes, I do. I'm going to get my finger off of that speed up button because I think it is enabled. I just have to be very careful not to hit it. But it is my memory that I love the Gen 5 love in the chat. I really do. But I think I like Black and White 2 more than just standard Black and White, if my memory serves correctly. It's been a long time since I've beaten any of them, or either of them, really. But yeah, it is gonna be. Yeah, and this is different already because obviously you play a lot more like just, you know, standard Black and standard White in Nuzlocke and stuff like that. For some reason, I don't know why, but I'm used to having the like start in the bedroom and all that stuff, and it's just not that way in this game, and I actually love that. Right? I did play the Drayano version of this game, Blaze Black 2, like a year ago, like when it first released. I played through a little bit of it, did not beat it. It was very, very difficult, but that has been something that I've wanted to jump back into for a while now. The only thing that's kept me from doing that is that there's no way to randomize it. There's no way to like customize the experience in any way. There may be now, so that might be something worth checking into. But you know what? Honestly, just doing a vanilla playthrough of that game, because it is heavily altered, might not be a bad idea. You love Gen 5 trainer sprites, but your alpha tester is going to murder me if you change it up. Fair, fair. Yeah, the Gen 5 sprites are some of my favorite. As I said a little bit earlier, like, I don't know, I felt like Gen 5 sprites weren't the best at the time, but it's really grown on me as I've kind of gotten older. And maybe it's just that my appreciation has deepened, you know? I do happen to know that person. It is me! And thanks to my chat, I actually have a female name that kind of works, you know? Yet I didn't have to dig too deeply for it. Gen 5 is Black and White. That is correct. Black and White and Black and White 2 both count for Generation 5. You know, it's kind of interesting, actually, that it is the only thing that, oh, I have to talk to her again, don't I? Okay, then. Ta-da! Yes. So it is the only, generation of Pokemon that has a true sequel that, like, actually deepens the story and everything. See? Nothing randomized. Nothing at all randomized. And as a child, I would have picked Snivy. I would have picked Snivy just because he's, like, cool, he's reptilian. So that is what we're going to pick here and now. Although I think my, see, the thing is, Gen 5 did not have the best starters to me. Though I have, except for the Elite Four. Yeah, I mean, Black and White 2 are actually difficult Pokemon games just on their own, especially when you compare them to other games. Oshawott is always your pick. See, yeah, I was about to say, I think my appreciation of Oshawott and Samurott has deepened over time. And now I consider Oshawott to be my favorite Gen 5 starter, followed by Snivy, and then, of course, Tepig, I believe, is the first stage. But I've never really liked Tepig all that much. I've always kind of liked Snivy. He's a little bit pompous, you know, he's very snake-like in my opinion. Serperior's just cool. Yeah, so that my opinion has changed, but I think we did pick Oshawott as our starter in the Black playthrough, or the Black research stream, or whatever you want to call it. So we're gonna go Snivy this time. If I pick Snivy for that one, well, you guys are just gonna get a whole bunch of pompous snaky lizard. You know, no filter Gen 5 Pokedex is the worst. That's actually very interesting because in my opinion, Blastonin, what's going on? It's been a long time since I've seen that name in the chat. At least it feels that way. Let's get it on you. Snivy is the best. Hey, there you go. I like that. Snivy is superior. Very nice, very nice. Very well done. All right. We got the Tepig coming out. I will say that I've always considered the Gen 4 Pokedex to kind of be the worst. And I think that's mostly because most of the Pokemon in it are not new until very late game. And there are no fire Pokemon. There's Ponyta and Chimchar, obviously. Gen 4 starters are way better, though, in my opinion. They wanted to make it a whole new games. No link with the previous games because it was across the world, but it ended up being a poor demake of Gen 1. Gen 5, you're talking about. What's going on, Lost Wonder? What is up? Well, I think it's meant to be very similar, you know? It's obviously just based on different parts of the world. Like you said, Gen 1 based on Japan, Gen 5 heavily based on the US. So I think they had a very similar like approach to it. They just had to they had to work it in a different way, you know. Japan and the US both have a lot of similarities in the way that they actually exist in the world. But obviously the US just does it on a much different scale, much bigger scale, and in a different way. Does that make any sense? Did you guys realize then from Gen 7 Plus, your rival picks the weaker starter? I did notice that, and that's one of the things I do not like about it. Like they're making it more childish, and I feel like that because like immediately after this game, which is one of the harder Pokemon games released by Game Freak, in my opinion, they immediately go to Gen 6, which is ridiculously easy, right? And then I hear that Sun and Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon are actually difficult games too, so that's why I want to play them. But yeah, just the thing about Sun and Moon is there was no difficulty to it. It was just, you know, the being by multiple Pokemon at once made the game not very fun for me. Gen 4 Dex isn't your favorite either, but Platinum is your favorite game. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I don't know. There's just something about Gen 4 that never really rubbed me the right way. You know, I never had a ton of fun playing a Gen 4 game. Maybe I do need to revisit Platinum in a more permanent sense, so to speak, right? Whoa! Did I say something that was a hot take, perhaps? All right. So, we got 5 Pokeballs, I believe. We just need to check here. 10. Okay, they load you up in this game. They load you up in this game. Honestly, did not like the Gen 5 Pokedex because it didn't seem creative, but you still played because of Snivy. I mean, some of the most beloved Pokemon now are Gen 5 Pokemon. I mean, or some of the most memorable, in my opinion. Running shoes! You get the running shoes early in this game, too. That's awesome. I don't know. Things like Crustle. I don't know. One of the coolest bug types ever made, in my personal opinion. Gen 5. Jellicent. Gen 5, you know. Pokeballs loaded! Favorite game is between Platinum and Heart Gold Soul Silver. So all in the Gen 5 category. I think that is a generational thing too, you know? Yep. Getting bleeped by multiple Pokemon at once. That worked exactly the way I wanted it to. Accurate statement. That's what happens in Gen 7 in my experience. That's why I haven't played it very much. And why I need to take a deep dive into Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. I also hear that's one of the longest Pokemon games, which is kind of another reason why I haven't, you know? All right, then we can run. Let's go. The running animation is very smooth though, but see the aliasing on the ground there? That's one of the things I initially hated about the Gen 5 games. Tomorrow's a new month. Yes, it is. That means I get paid, which is lovely. I can upgrade my setup a little bit more, and then I can start recording the next big video. I just haven't been, I haven't wanted to do that because I know I'm going to change where my camera is, and I didn't want to, like, you know, Ultra Sun is the hardest Pokemon game. Well, you know what? I'm looking forward to it even more then. That's awesome. Resented Gen 7 a lot because it brought way too many similarities that were actually in your fan game. Ah, I see. Yeah, I mean, you know, the things that you really like. Oh, I forgot about your resolution there, says. Yeah, that it does. But hey, you know what? You might get lucky. Who knows? You might get lucky. Might be able to find a good way out of that resolution sooner rather than later. Fingers are crossed for you, my friend. It's harder than any game in existence. I agree because it's oh so real. It's oh so real. Especially for those of you who like have emotions, you know? Okay, we can move on from that. We don't have to linger. Well, it is good to know that no Pokemon game is going to give me as much trouble as asking out women. That's, you know, always a plus. Now, the pacing, I will say, in Gen 5, it seems slower than most games, and I think that might be because they tried to get the engine to do more than it was really comfortable doing. So that is one of the things I think that kind of impacted my research stream of just standard black, if I'm remembering correctly. See, the good thing about me is I forget things fairly easily. So every time I play a game and it's been like a year or so since I've played it last, it feels like a new playthrough to me. So that makes doing these streams a little bit more legitimate, in my opinion. These kind of research things. At least this time it'll be someone I don't know, which makes it harder. Does it though? I mean, that's kind of what like the modern dating philosophy is, right? Because most people ask other people out on Tinder, which is all just stranger on stranger interaction. You like the way I used to reply to my comments? It just makes the stream so interactive. What do you mean used to? Do I not reply to comments anymore? Have I evolved in a bad way? I have not meant to. I'm sorry if I have. That was never my intention. Never my intention at all. There have been a few moments where I've looked up and wanted to interact with chat over a certain topic, but I just get lost. You know, it like so much has happened since I looked over last time, like an active chat. Oh, you like the way that I reply to comments? Yeah, I do my best. I do my best, but like I was about to say, I do get lost if the chat goes off, you know? Hijack your live speaking about my fan game. I feel like it's not okay, but you know what? It's fine because how do I want to word it? Like, you're proud of it, you know? I appreciate that. I like when people get really like invested in something they're doing. It means they're passionate people, and you know, passionate people are always good to have around. Who rang? I didn't ring. All right, let's see. Do we need to buy anything? I feel like we probably need to buy potions. We have 2. And I feel like we also need to buy paralysis heals. So we can't buy paralysis heals, which is a bit of a dagger. I will stock up on potions a little bit more though. Let's go 4 more, you know. Oh, you said when I said I get lost in the comments. I got you. It took a minute, but I think it clicked. I think that's what you were talking about, Lost Wonder. And yeah, like if too much happens and it makes it really hard for me to like know what's going on in chat, then it becomes a little bit harder to reply, unfortunately. But I still do my best when I can, you know. Very passionate about your resolution. As a matter of fact, you're so passionate that I've... Well, that's good. That's good. You'll be one of the very few that stick on to a New Year's resolution past January. Because most people just give up as soon as the month is over, or even before the month finishes. That's when like most gym memberships get canceled, like at the very beginning of February and stuff like that. Everything gyms must have it really hard in February. I say this kind of actually as a fact. It was not my resolution to exercise more, really. But I will be canceling my gym membership, I think, because it's a lot, man. It's a lot. I don't have the time. I have to walk 20 minutes to get there in the snow and stuff like that. And it just doesn't feel that worth it to me at the moment. So I will be canceling it for February. I might reinstate it in March. Don't know. Now is the easy way out. Hey, that's fair. That's fair. But you know what? Winners don't take the easy way out. Winners don't take the easy way out. You got to work hard until you get what you want. It's the only way this world works for you, unfortunately. The only way. It's such a nice boon to have the running shoes so early on, not having to do like a task for them or anything like that. Even in black, it makes you wait a bit longer to get them. You have to sit through like a lot of dialogue and stuff like that. So this game does have a leg up on just standard black already, in my opinion. And wouldn't you know it, there is a dead pixel in my DS screen. How lame. How lame. Oh, no, it's not. It's not a dead pixel in the screen. That's just the way that the Gen 5 engine works. I totally forgot about that. That was another thing that kind of turned me off from Gen 5 Pokemon games early on, is because, like, there were all these graphical deficiencies. I mentioned the aliasing on the ground earlier, and this is another one, you know? It's not as polished as it could be, but now that we have things like Scarlet and Violet. Says, thank you so much. I appreciate you stopping in. Probably create a video game, Blast Owner. Wow, that is quite a resolution. I wish you all the best of luck with it. But says, have a great night. Always a pleasure to have you in my chat, and good luck with your new month resolution. I will say, Gen 5, like, early route Pokemon, what is going on? You were watching in 144p. That is a graphical deficiency if I've ever heard one. That is a graphical deficiency if I have ever heard one. My goodness. All right, so we got the Purloin. Yeah, the early route Pokemon in Gen 5 are some of the, like, weakest, in my opinion. Not, like, power-wise or anything, but just, like, I don't want them, you know? Like, I've never wanted a Purloin. I looked vintage. Buddy, I am vintage. I don't know if you know that, but I am a nice vintage spirit, so to speak. Nah, man, I got iron deficiency. Oh, it's not funny, but it's funny when you read it in that context, you know? Well, take care of yourself. You're watching at 360p. You guys, I stream in 1080. Get on it. Get on it. What are you doing? Vintage for the win! Exactly, exactly. I'm worth more than all the young ones. I didn't want to say it, you know, but if we're taking the wine analogy and running with it, yeah, I had to do it. I had to throw a little shade, you know? Had to throw a little shade, even though it wasn't necessary. It just, it felt right at the moment. No worries, old man. Yeah, see, that's why I had to throw the shade, because I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. You guys are crazy. Now, I will say, I do enjoy a Lillipup. I'm a big Stoutland fan. I don't know how you guys feel about Stoutland, but I've always really enjoyed Stoutland. You know, he's I don't know if this really applies, but I'm gonna say it. He's very friend-shaped, in my opinion. You know, he's very friend-shaped. Like, there are other dog Pokemon, and they're all like a lot more athletic looking, but Stoutland just looks like he looks like a good cuddler. You know, that's what you love most about me. I'm not the oldest. Shut your mouth, Zadra. I'm just kidding. Hey, I'm here to please. I'm here to please. And if that's one of the things I can use to separate myself from the crowd, I will do it. Stoutland stole your heart in the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon anime. Absolutely. See, that's one of the very few anime things I have seen. So I fully agree with that. Sometimes you feel like a creep fancying poking around. Hey, look, it's a video game that we grew up with. If anything, like, people my age or the actual Pokemon, like, we're the fans that started it off, right? So, like, it's the most appropriate for us to like these things. We grew up with them. These were our childhood in a lot of cases, you know? And I will say, another thing this game did well is actually making the rival battles kind of scary. for the first time. Tried to get the 2% Riolu. Oh my god. No. I'll get bored really quickly there, and I definitely don't know if I would have done that as a kid. So because we are doing a bit of research here as well, we kind of have to stick to a little bit of a formula, which is kind of, you know, it's a bit lame. It's a bit on the lame side of things, I will admit. But yeah, I'm just gonna go through the game as I would as a kid. I think that's the best way to keep these games and these playthroughs even. Grew up with Blue. Can't top that if you're not Japanese. Exactly. See, it's very appropriate for us to enjoy these games. I don't know why people our age make a big deal and say like, oh, it's for children. Oh, it's for blah, blah, blah. Like, not really. You just got to look at it from a different perspective. You know? I feel like that's pretty good life advice too. Like, if something seems off, and I am in no way a therapist, so, you know, take everything I say with a grain of salt. Just got to do the ass covering there. But I feel like it's very good life advice. Just, you know, if something looks wrong, if something looks like it's not enjoyable or whatever, just try to change your perspective and you might find a new enjoyment, a new side to that thing that you can actually enjoy. Do you play Geometry Dash? No, unfortunately, I do not. I have never played Geometry Dash or anything like that. See, with me, and it might sound funny coming from a huge Pokemon fan, I need a lot of story in most of my video games. Like, if it's not Pokemon that I'm playing, the games that I play have a really, really, really heavy story component that go throughout them. And I really don't play anything that's PvP based. I really don't play anything that's not like, you know, really heavy story. Rayquaza, what's going on? How we doing? How we doing? What is going on this evening, my friend? All right, we took out Hugh. And I don't know if I finished my thought, but the rival battles are actually scary in this game, and I really appreciate that. Just to quickly wrap up that thought that I had before I got sidetracked again, as I typically do. But the story beats in this game are interesting, I will say. There are a lot of them. One of the things I like about this game, I feel like it has a really deep storyline. Like even deeper than Gen 4, which that, in my opinion, is one of the only things that Gen 4 has going for it. And it made battling with Pokemon more fun for me. I'm not really sure exactly why, but it just did. It just did. I think they probably like tweaked the way Pokemon interact with one another. Blastonin, that is totally fine. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you whenever you get back. Recently reread your favorite book saga as a teen. Felt like it was too childish. Turns out it was literally written for children. Fair. I actually have one of my favorite book things still. One of my favorite book stories. But it's been a while since I've read them, so I might have to revisit them pretty soon myself. Might have to, you know, give them a try and see if I can actually stomach them now as an adult, or more of an adult. What's it called? Are you talking about his the book trilogy, or is it a trilogy? Saga. Okay, nice. The narration is invasive, but the universe is rich and original. What's the saga? What is it? What are we talking about here? Fablehaven. Ooh, interesting. High fantasy. I would assume. Would assume that's some high fantasy. There's a level 7 here, man. I caught a level 5. Ugh. How dare I? You wanted to leave my walls, but it turns out you can't leave them after you've entered it. I warned you, they're not made out of wood, so you're kind of stuck in there forever, unfortunately. I hope you have a cell phone with a decent charge and a decent battery, because you're going to be there for a while. You're going to be there for a while. I'll try to get you out before they sell the apartment, though. How's that sound? How does that sound? Yeah, that's something I can talk about. Yeah, so got a call from my landlord last week that they are going to try to sell my apartment out from under me. So that's a little bit stressful. So I've been dealing with that. But, you know, luckily, streaming takes some of that pressure off, and I don't have to think about it for a little while until I mention it on stream like a fool. Urban fantasy. Ooh, interesting. Sounds very Icelandic. Sounds very modern Icelandic to me. All right. Let's smack this Lillipup in the face in game. One more time here and we should be good. Skill issue? Yeah, it is a skill issue. We all have skill issues. I mean, let's just be real. Let's just be real. It makes it way easier to keep up with chat when I put it right in front of my face, though. That is a, you know, streamer tip 101. Good streamer tip 101. Put the chat in front of you where you're looking at it. Yeah. Wall navigation is it's a pretty rare one, Ray. So, you know, props for attempting it. Props for attempting it. Azurill. Ugh. I will say, being able to catch a Marill, damn it. A Mareep early on was always really cool to me about these games. I don't know why. It just felt like having that Thunder Wave and having the static and all of that stuff. Really early game, especially for the first gym, which is also pretty early game in this game. Tried to not say game again, but I just couldn't help myself. But yeah, the game really just throws you right into it, as if you're coming right off of the heels of Pokemon Black, you know? And it just gets right into it. It does deviate a little bit, but not like other Pokemon games do, you know? Trying to think of the one that I would consider to be the worst, like, early game deviation. Right? And I would say, just like off the top of my head, I would probably have to say it's Johto, like the Gen 2 games. With that whole, like, you got to go all the way north, and then you're welcome to come back down, and then you got to give the Pixel Puffin. That is a skill issue. You did not just call me that. My name is Brandon. My name is Brandon. Don't call me a gypsy. I'm offended. Joking, by the way. Joking. Yeah, it's Brandon. Correct. It's not Brendan. It's not Brandon. It's Brandon. Yeah. Very specific about that. And I appreciate that Rayquaza actually spelled it properly. And is not even like an American native, you know? Kind of, yes. Yes, like the author, yep. My author immediately went Brandon Sanderson. But yes, exactly, like your author as well. Guess who's back? Oh man, you weren't kidding. You were coming back. You were coming back fast. I was expecting you to, you know, be gone for hours, hours and hours. And see, this is the thing I didn't realize about Snivy when I was a kid. Snivy is bulky. Snivy is not a hitter, really. You know, not until he fully evolves, and then he can deal out some damage. But until then, just kind of bulky, which is nice. You know. Kind of fits with the whole grass vibe. But I didn't realize this as a kid. I wasn't the smartest, perhaps. Brandon, those names don't exist. Got you. Yeah, I've had Polish friends here try to give me like Polish-ish names. Polish-ish. It doesn't work very well. It always comes out sounding funny. Oddly. Who would have thunk? All right. Can we not head north yet? No, you can. Okay, you just have to trigger him and then he goes. Got you. Yes, continue. Continue running. Just do it. Oh, I don't want to fight you. I'd rather catch a thing. You know? Rather catch a thing. More of a collector than a battler. Don't want to catch that though. Don't really want to catch that. I'll happily take that out. I will happily take that out. Every feminine Polish name ends with an A. Yeah, I know with like last names. Is that the same for given names as well? Not family names. Catch the mouse? Why? It's horrible. It's a friendship evolution and it's an Azurill. It really is not good for anything. Parents are yelling. Oh no. I got you. That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, I'm glad it's not the former, Zadra. I'm glad it's not the former. And I can't remember the levels of the first gym in this game. I feel like they're fairly low. But I feel like they're probably still around like 12, right? Ah, the first paralyzed heal. Yes, and I'm actually kind of surprised that we haven't run into a Mareep yet. Kind of surprised. You don't think it's forgiven names too. Yeah. I'm trying to think, but I'm having trouble processing Polish names at the moment for some reason. And I think I'm just going to move my timer over a little bit if I can, because I think it's not very centered and that's bothering me. Did I just break everything? No, I didn't. Okay. We're okay for the moment. For the moment. All right. I'm going to stop messing around now. Stop messing around now. That's funny. I was able to do all of that and then the battle started. And, yeah, you got a speech tomorrow. Oh, on what? 13 out of 14. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's a very interesting fraction to throw my way. You know, whereas most people would just say like 9 out of 10. But you go, girl. What's your speech on, random? I never did like public speaking. Yes, the level sound. It's beautiful. Yeah? Pros and cons of mobile devices in classrooms. Yes. Yes, I have that problem as well, but mostly just because, like, I don't know. I think I have a fat thumb. You know? I don't know. Tell me. Is it a fat thumb? I don't know. But anyways. Yeah, my phone does not like me hitting buttons, and I think that's because I have so many, like, different language keyboards. Trust me, I'm an engineer. Says every engineer. Anya? Anya from Spy Family? Took you 10 years to earn the right to say it. Hey, well earned. Well earned. And to think, doctors spend the same amount of time just making it legitimate to say, does it hurt when I do this? And then do the thing, you know? There we go. And meteorologists spend absolutely no years at all for the right to tell you what the weather's going to be, because they're always wrong. That wasn't funny. I just thought I should bring it up since we were talking about, like, occupations, you know? It's the only job where you can actually be wrong every single day and keep your job. Really should have got into that. What was I thinking? So this is not a fairy type in this generation, something I have to keep in mind. It's just purely... What was Azurill? Was it water type before, or was it normal type before? Motivational video on public speaking. Yeah. It could be. It could be, actually, Polish in origin. I would have to do some, like, etymology research, you know? Opinion on parish. It's a oh. It's a village? It's water normal in this game. Got you. So it does have that water typing. Very interesting. Your mom's TV was having a bug. Are you asking my my opinion on Paris, like France? But no, I have not been to Poland yet. It's on my list of places to go. I just feel like Poland's a place that I definitely need to go with a Polish speaker. Because I think my brain's just going to explode if I go on my own. And I wouldn't know where to go, right? Because I wouldn't want to spend my entire time in, like, Krakow or Warsaw or in Poland. Okay, got you. Hey, that's fine. At least you can type without looking at your keyboard. I cannot. I am a classic hunt and pecker. Yeah. Oh, that's the first time I've been able to say that phrase in a long time. That made me feel good. I enjoyed that. I got to type it on Twitter not long ago, and that was fun. Oh no, my timer's all messed up again. Did I move it again? Or did I just never fix it in the first place? I probably just never fixed it right in the first place. Oh no. That's gonna bother me. That's gonna mess with my timer. No! Okay, I'm just gonna deal with it. I'm just gonna deal with it. No. A village in Poland called Padish. Okay. What do I think about it? Yeah, I've never been there, so I couldn't give you an opinion. I think Poland is very much like the Ohio of Europe, though. I mean, you've got a Padish, and you know, you've got other things that like seem like they already exist in other worlds, you know, other countries. In terms of trips, Gdańsk is actually pretty nice to visit. I've heard this. I have heard this. I've heard it's a very pretty old city, you know. It's very, very much my vibe. Poznan, historical places. Okay, let's go. I'll add that to the list. I definitely want to see some like Polish countryside for sure. You know, some good parks. Some of your mountains are gorgeous. Definitely want to hit up the castles. Ohio has a place called Poland. Doesn't surprise me at all. Does not surprise me at all. No one in on the board in Ohio, on the various boards or planning committees or whatever they are, has any ounce of creativity. Not an ounce. There's a London, Ohio. There's all kind of things, man. As an Ohioan, I can confirm. Yeah. So I used to live in Pittsburgh, and I used to have to drive into like Columbus and Cincinnati and all of these places all the time. And man, it was just you get a strange feeling when you know that you have to go to Ohio. I don't know what it is. You see the keystrokes in your head. As a human, I can confirm. Love it. But I will say, because they've chosen this way to name everything in Ohio, places like Poland and stuff are always kind of like coming into conversation somehow. It's pretty weird here. It's very flat. You also have Korea, America, Venetia. You're definitely the prettier version of Ohio, you know, QWERTY. See? We had one typing class when I was in school. And it was when we were in like, I don't know, I might have been 8 or 9. Maybe? I really don't remember much, but we only had that one. Of Moscow and Jerusalem. Really? Oh man. Interesting. Well, the good thing about Iceland is they don't have any of that. They don't have any borrowed place names, that's for sure. None at all. Zero. They were completely I don't really want to use the word creative. But what in the hell is that? Vinicich Hefkis? Okay. Is this a word? Are you putting a word scramble in my chat right now? Because that's gonna make my brain explode. Sadra, oh well, thank you so much for stopping by. I very much appreciate you, and have a great rest of your night. All right. Onwards. Random letters. Fair. Okay, that works. Yeah, right in the middle of a language conversation, just throw a bunch of random letters in there. You know, that's not a way to. It's not a way to make someone sweat a little bit for no reason whatsoever. I like this. I like that they've added the seasons too. That's a classy touch, you know? It's very simple. It's very easy, but I really like that they've done it. They've made it interactive and everything. Very nice. This guy I don't like. I don't like him. He's not a pal, you know? He's not my favorite champion. He's just kind of weird. I don't know how you guys feel about him, but Alder has never been one of my favorites. Never, never, never. He's definitely no Iris. He's no Lance. He's no Cynthia. That much is for sure. He's no Steven. So many good champions, but this guy and the girl from Gen 6, just not my vibe, you know? Orange Immortal Legs guy. Yeah, he's a big fan of the hero landing. He's got knees of steel, for sure. Knees of Steel. Can confirm. Yeah, I'm not even gonna do like the assignment here, I don't think. Like, I don't need to use my starter. Maybe I need to use my starter. These are some thick monkeys. I honestly thought he would heal me before this battle began, but I guess he only heals me in between them. Again, it's been a long time since I played this game, so really, really good. I'm actually really surprised with how well Fire Red performed when I did this with that game, because, you know, I play Radical Red all the time, way more than I need to, most likely. Should be finding other games to play, but I'm just so addicted, it doesn't work out. Anyways, yeah, I'm really surprised that I lasted as long as I did in Fire Red. I think I lasted longer in Fire Red than I did in Heart Gold or anything. Until, well, in Heart Gold, because in Gen 3 I definitely played for longer. Gen 3's fine, apparently, until you get to that stupid tunnel with Steven in it, and then it just gets real boring real fast. Something about Dewford, you know? Dewford is kind of meh. Lillipup is here to save the day. We're definitely gonna have to leer, though. Definitely gonna have to leer. And I do find myself like speed clicking the A button a lot in this game. I'm trying to be very, you know, cognizant of what my body's doing. I'm trying to use my proprioception as a part of my scientific studies here tonight. And I am noticing that I'm kind of just like hammering the A button through actions, through dialogue, all that kind of stuff. A little bit more evidence that the game engine is not quite keeping up. Even you'll notice in some of the Pokemon animations, like that little hop, that the game engine kind of like lags a little bit. And this is a pretty good example that Nintendo has a history of testing different gameplay mechanics before their hardware can keep up with it. And this is something we're seeing in our more recent releases too, I think. Not to completely blame the Switch, because the Switch can handle, you know, Breath of the Wild, and some heavier, more intensive games. So it's not all the hardware, but it is definitely something that Game Freak likes to do. You like Scizor. You love Scizor. Sorry. I undersold that for you. But I think just about everybody loves Scizor. I haven't met a Scizor hater. Like, Scizor's just really, really cool. He's definitely one of my favorite Gen 2 Pokemon. Absolutely. I've always loved Scizor. I don't know that I could call him underrated because most people really like him. But he's a fantastic mon, that's for sure. And he's only gotten better with time, which is interesting. The city you live in is one of the cities that has a German name? Aha! It has a separate name in German is what you mean. Interesting. You must be really close to the border then. That doesn't happen very often. I haven't even been to Poland, but I know that much. Iran and Fred. Fred? Who is Fred? Throwing me for a loop here, my friend. Now, I know there's something up here, but I don't know what it is, and it might be a post-game thing. I know it's something related to Victini, but I don't know what it is. I'm going to see if there's any clue in just the vanilla game. Oh, 3 sharp marks are deeply cut into the rock. Oh, is this not... No. This is not Victini. This is Keldeo. I was wrong. Seeing the rock jogged my memory. This is Keldeo. Yeah, there we go. I'm just a little slow. Guess you can tell me the German name. Liegnitz. Wow. Okay, interesting. That doesn't help me because I don't know enough about Poland or in fact Germany really, outside of the big cities to know that. But it's really interesting. If you have a Keldeo, you can turn it into its Resolute form. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. I thought maybe like in the post game or something he would like appear there. But cool. All right, neat. I'm sure Keldeo, now that I think about it, was just like a you know, a GameStop release or like a mystery gift or something, right? They really like to do, they need to stop doing that. I don't want to tell Pokemon how to like run their game or anything like that. You know, I don't assume to be more knowledgeable about this sort of thing than them. Uh-oh. Hero landing. There it is. Really bad for your knees, but he does not care. I will take these. Thank you. They do a good job of like setting up the game in this, even though, you know, Alder's a bit annoying, but they give you the berries, they give you the paralyze heal when you need it, or in theory need it, you know. So that's very cool. Iron legs. Yes. Yes. Hitmonlee's prehistoric form there. Iron legs. We've got an iron hands. We need an iron legs now. See, look at that encounter. That I stopped moving way before the Pat Rat spawned, right? So that's kind of a mark off. But like it's like a half point off. I really still don't know exactly how I'm gonna grade these things. That's one of the things that are keeping these videos from being made. Is it's actually a lot more difficult to kind of finalize than I initially thought. It's vodka. Oh. Potentially? Iron foot. Iron. Yeah, prehistoric Aron or something. Is there something that's more metallic than Aron? Don't say Magnemite. I know. I mean, it's all metal, but you know, probably steel. It's probably not iron. What would be an iron Pokemon? Like Mawile, maybe? I feel like Mawile would be made out of iron. Or at least the thing on its head would. What part of him is steel? You know? What part? That's the question. These are the important questions, right? Oh, we have a pickup Lillipup. I just noticed that now. And we got a Great Ball. Ooh, fancy. Okay, so, well, you might pick something up. I doubt it, but you might. You know? We're pretty close to the gym, so I doubt it. Did you pick something up? Did you do it, Lillipup? I don't know if you did. I really don't know that you did. I'll give you the chance to... don't people in this gym give me something? Yeah, they do. X defend. Probably won't use that. Has anyone ever used like X items in just a standard playthrough of a Pokemon game? I honestly don't think I ever have. I think this girl gives me something too. Surprise Pokemon, stop its evolution. Oh no, you rascal. You rascal. All right. I like the setup of gym. I like that this is a gym. It's very simple, but it seems like it is realistic, you know? It seems like this is kind of what the gyms would be like. It actually reminds me of the it's not really a gym, but like the secondary gym, like on the way to what, like Lavender Town in the anime. I want to say never use X items with the exception of accuracy if your accuracy gets killed. Fair point. I might have done that in the past. I'm not sure. But I really just don't think I've ever really used X items. Like, it never seemed worth it to me to waste a turn to just raise a stat, even though that's what you do when you use a setup move that doesn't inflict damage, right? It just doesn't make sense if you sit and really think about it. But, yeah, I don't know. You come to a lot of realizations doing this kind of, this deep scientific research. And, yes. I know. That was the funniest joke I've done all night. But, accidentally hit the button twice. Real professional there. You actually come to some really interesting realizations that you don't think of on a daily basis is what I was trying to say. You know, you're in a different kind of like headspace. You're not just trying to like win because you don't care so much if you die. That frees your brain up for more, you know, useful information. Patrat down. And, trying to think. I think Patrat was my second ever full odd shiny. I think he was my second. I think. Now the gym starts to cheat a little bit, and you'll see what I mean. If you haven't played this game, which I'm sure you all have, this is where the gym kind of starts to get a little scary. Oh no, maybe not right now. Maybe not right now. There's 7 place names called Poland. All of them are in North America. I wonder why that would be. No, I know why that would be. Where are they? Did you find them all, Ray? Where are they? I'm interested. I know there's a Polish hill in Pittsburgh, but I don't think that's what you mean. I think you're talking about places actually called Poland. Greninja guy, what's going on? You just learned that there's Skibbity Toilet? What the fuck? Nah. I just recently learned what Rule 34 actually is, and yeah, that's a big old nope. Yeah, call me an old man. I know, it's coming. It's coming. Reshiram Cry is so cursed. Meme guy, what's going on? Reshiram's Cry. I don't know that I can, like... Is it that, like... That was a really bad, like, representation, I know. You're welcome. I just listened to it at the start of the game, but my memory has already faded. I'll have to... Oh. You just got bored? Yeah, I don't know about that, though. I don't know about that. So, Greninja guy, any relation to Meme guy? Any relation? All you know is that they're all in the US. Well, you have homework now. You have to find all of them. I'm curious. My curiosity needs to be sated. I don't know US states and we'll never know them. Well, I mean, Google knows them. Google can tell you. Or just put a map of them in the Discord if that's all you can find. But don't feel bad. I know a lot of Americans that don't know all the states. Don't worry about it. I'm not meme guy for once you're not somebody. No, I'm just saying any relation. You know, it was a bad joke. And Zekrom is so terrifying. I love Zekrom so much. Zekrom is definitely my favorite Gen 5 legendary. He's so cool. He's so cool. Rayquaza, homework. Do it. You know you want to. Okay, fine. How do I want to word it? How do I want to try to find a loophole here? No relation. Never seen this dude in my life. Well, hey, you know, who knows? A possible friend in the future. Caw-caw, I'm Reshiram. Moo moo, I'm a Zekrom. Oh, God. Don't need helping hand. Think Kyurem is the best legendary. Oh, see, okay, you bring up a good point, meme guy. You bring up a good point. Kyurem is kind of cool. I don't know, there's just PM7? What? What about PM7? I'm confused. Skibbity Toilet, no. No, bad. Gross. Ban that guy? Gross. I tell you, if there's ever one message that I've ever seen in chat that someone would like go into a stream, see that message and immediately leave, it'd be Skibbity Toilet R34. Like, if I saw that in a chat, I would just run with my tail tucked, you know? Haha, I'm Reshiram. Moo moo, I'm a Zekrom. Oh, did he do that? I don't watch much PM7, to be completely honest with you. I know who he is, but I've never really watched much of his stuff. Same thing with M&J TV. I don't know. I've watched like 1 or 2 videos, you know? Check Discord. All right, I'll do it after this because this is timed. So I don't really want any, like, you know, errors in the calculations and blah, blah, blah. But I'll definitely check Discord right after the stream. Or right after this part of the stream, depending on how long it lasts. Right? The game engine may be the downfall here. You like Purple Cliff more? Purple Cliff's another one that I really haven't watched all that much of. Really, I've always kind of like, when it comes to Poketubers, I've stuck to like the same 5 for my entire Pokemon like watching experience, you know? Kyurem is a very cool mon. I'm just trying to think of where I would like rank him on the scale. I think my scale of the Gen 5 legendaries, not including like the Swords of Justice, just the box arts and Kyurem, would be Zekrom, Kyurem, Reshiram. Even though they're all cool in my opinion. They're all cool. Let's just say that from the jump. But I just think there's something about Zekrom that makes him more enjoyable to me. I like the way they did the typings though, even though Reshiram did kind of fall short, you know, a little bit. Play and check it at the same time. I can't really do that. I can't do that. I'm not that talented. I'm not that talented. I have a very direct attention span. So just being able to like interact with chat and play the game at the same time is kind of pushing my upper limit, if I'm being honest with you. That's why I do get to points in my stream sometimes where I just kind of like go quiet because my brain has short-circuited. Let's talk about X and Y. X and Y is actually the game that got me back into Pokemon, and it will be the next one that we are playing. It'll be the next one that we play in this kind of like series. Ray, I can't think about that. I can't do it. I can't do it. Close chat for a bit and then check Discord and play the game. I can't because I have all these notifications on my phone, you know? I can open it, but that's about all I can do. Stress. 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 Okay. The turn's over. He's working up. He's working up. Oh, okay. So it is saying, okay, yep. Okay, awesome. I will check that out. Thank you so much, Rayquaza. I appreciate the map. I'm a big fan of maps. That was stressful for me. Okay, you can't see it, but my back is sweaty. Back is definitely sweaty. Knees weak, arms are heavy. All of those things, you know? Don't give an F for the notification. Yeah, but I have to get through all of them. You don't understand. Mean about Greninja guy. Oh, I think he was just saying that he wanted to talk to you about Gen 7 maybe or Gen 6 because of your name. I'm gonna keep battling. With that, you have to go, Ray. Well, thank you again for the map. Thank you for coming out this evening, and have a great rest of your night. He flinched. We get the flinch. Okay, that's great because this guy is a bit scary. He do be a bit scary with the workups. In my opinion, this is kind of one of the hardest first gym battles in Pokemon. I think they did a really good job with this one. All right, we do outspeed him. Can we get another? Ooh, we don't get the other flinch. Now, I should probably be going for stab tackles, right? That should be the smart thing to do, but I'm just trying to work those flinches. The heart is in the way. I can't read, but did that just say you've never played X and Y? Oh, wow. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. That's the one that got me back into Pokemon. After a long time. And like on that first playthrough, enough had changed with Pokemon's formula. Like they had added stuff in that made it like a completely fresh experience. And I have a lot of really good memories about Gen 6. I don't know how I would feel about it revisiting it now. But that makes it a perfect thing to jump to next. You know, I'm going to try to be a little bit more consistent and wrap up this series so that I can, you know, get to editing it. But like I said earlier, I've still got a lot of stuff I got to figure out for how I want to structure it. Xerneas is awesome. Absolutely. Yveltal is kind of cute. I think you're the first person ever that has said Yveltal is cute. But my goodness, I love Xerneas and I love Yveltal. Like Yveltal's my favorite legendary. And Xerneas is really cool as well. I really like the life and death duo. They're really cool. I have any good emulators for 3DS and mobile, and your laptop is getting repaired. Oh yeah, I've never tried to emulate anything on a phone ever. Mostly because I have an iPhone and I'm afraid to try anything like remotely emulatory-ish on it. That's something for you youngins to figure out. You know, I try to stay off my phone as much as I possibly can. Although I did buy a lovely like controller for my phone that allows me to play my PlayStation on my phone. Like if I have someone over and they're watching a movie or something like that that I'm not particularly interested in, I can just play the PlayStation while they're watching a movie. They're a scam? Oh. Yeah, see, that's another thing. I don't know. That kind of skeeves me out, you know? I can scan for scams a little bit better on my PC. I wouldn't trust it on a phone, but that's just me. I'm sure there are ways to do it that are efficient and safe. I just don't know them. Particularly you, Pixie. Don't call me that. How dare you? But look how cute this character is. Like, the boy just looks like a golf course reject. But the girl actually looks really cute, even though she is kind of wearing a visor and everything. I don't know. She's just more endearing than the male character in this game is for some reason. Sharon looks like Sycamore. Kind of. He kind of does. He's got the same kind of like hair style. It's a bit longer, and of course it's black instead of brown. But I can kind of see what you mean. I can kind of see it. Who knows? Maybe one day the Pokemon Company will, you know, come back around and try all of these, or try to wrap up all of these things that they started, right? Maybe we'll get answers. Maybe we won't. I will say, so Gen, I think this whole system kind of started in Gen 4. Things like the Sea Gear and the Apple Watch or the Poke Watch and stuff like that. You know, the like additional kind of like connectivity apps in the Pokemon games. And I got to be completely honest with you. I never really understood how the Gen 5 one worked. It always seemed kind of complicated with the whole like Dream Radar thing and stuff like that. It seemed very like extra, whereas the other ones have seemed to kind of complement the games a little bit better. This one seems very like an extra device, you know? But I love the one in, that's another thing that we can talk about more when we get to the X and Y stream. But I really like the one in X and Y. I thought they did a really good job with it. It's very intuitive. It had some additional functionality that we'll definitely touch on. And yeah, I really enjoyed that one. But yeah, going back to this one now, I still am kind of like, Dream Radar, what is all this about? The black and white forest and stuff like that. That's all very post-game, you know? All very, very post-game kind of stuff. Kukui is so ugly. Meme guy's out here with some hot takes. I mean, I can say Kukui's an attractive man. He's definitely, you know. But everybody's got different tastes. So, I mean, I can definitely see people out there not liking his vibe, you know? There are people out there that think like Ryan Reynolds is ugly and so I mean there's literally a flavor for everybody. Black City and White Forest, yeah. See, I've just never understood all that stuff. Like, I beat the games once upon a time and I had like finished save files and everything, but I never really utilized any of that functionality. Maybe it was just you know, me at the time, you know? You beat the tree in the city. Eh? You trying to confuse me? What are you doing? Beat the tree in the city. Maybe don't do that. Sounds like, you know, free shiny? See, yeah, I never understood it. Never understood it. All of that just went over my head. Tree in the city and all that stuff. Mewtwo is bad because you hate clones and clones can be terrifying. Well, I think he was effective, whether you like him or not, because like, I feel like that's exactly what they wanted him to be. You know, they wanted him to be really like hard to like. They almost made him like, and people make this comparison all the time, but if you've watched Dragon Ball Z, they kind of make him seem like Frieza, but like Frieza becoming Frieza, right? Like the tyrant before he's fully a tyrant, and you get to watch him kind of turn into a tyrant. Especially when you like juxtapose him with Mew. I'm getting really like deep when I don't need to. I do apologize. No, I don't want to hear you talk anymore. That is a downfall of Gen 5, is that they yammer on quite a lot. Kind of like me, I guess, in some situations. And now that I've said that, I have just said that I dislike the way that I stream. I hope you guys don't feel the same way. Yikes. What did I say about realizations? Togekiss's cry is bad. Okay. I'm really bad at Pokemon cries. You're gonna have to forgive me. I can't bring that one super forward. What are you apologizing for? Don't apologize. You're allowed to think whatever you'd like to think. Even if it's something different than what I think or what anybody else thinks, you're more than welcome to appreciate your own opinions. And there are going to be other people out there that share those opinions. That's kind of the beauty of it, right? Kind of the beauty of it. And that's coming from a very introverted, like anti-people kind of person, myself. So if I'm saying it, you know there's got to be some truth to it at least. Oh, that was a good neck pop. That was a good one. Don't really have a good way to overtake this Riolu here. Don't have a great way to overtake him. I'm speed running. What do you mean? I'm not speed running anything. Not a bit. Am I missing stuff? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Told you I'm playing this like I would have as a kid, you know? I'm following the very linear direction that I see in front of me. After the tree and the city you beat, you get a shiny Pokemon from Alder's grandson. Is that in Black and White 2? I feel like it would have to be. But I do not remember that. It's good to know. Good to know. You just saw the timer? Oh, yeah. So basically what I'm doing is I am timing how long it takes me to feel bored with each generation. And that's kind of one of the ways that we're kind of grading the different generations of Pokemon to kind of figure out which one holds up the best. No. I'm sorry. I just now realized how that could be confusing if you just pop in. No, it's not about speed running at all. It's just judging how much time I spend playing the game before I start to feel bored. That's all it is. That's all. Pixie, wait! Come with me, you two. Like this is one thing about the very beginning of Black and White 2, is that this is when they started kind of like doing a lot of hand holding, right? You got a lot of times that people will stop you from doing what you're currently doing to have you do something else that kind of like explains game mechanics to you in one way or another. Which, fine, you know, there are still very young players out there. This could still be someone's like first game ever. So teaching them kind of these things is fine. But it does make the game a little bit kind of like slow and tedious for us veterans, you know? Do I have Pokemon Scarlet or Violet? I have both. I've only played through Pokemon Scarlet to the point of like actually beating it. And I use my Violet profile to do a lot of like content-based stuff, you know? Ooh, yay, a Sawaddle. I want one. I want me a Sawaddle. I do enjoy a Sawaddle for some reason. I'm a big fan. But yeah, I have both. My Violet is, it's only on the computer for now, though. I don't have my actual cartridge. Actually, I think my brother has my cartridge, but I have the version that I ripped onto the computer. We're gonna nibble on this Purloin a little bit, you know, dog versus cat. Gonna do a little bit of dog versus cat here. Got a shiny Dratini just now? That's sick. Congratulations. That's a pretty good shiny. That's a good shiny. Do you prefer the pink shiny, or do you prefer the Dragonite kind of like deep green shiny? Got a lot of differing opinions on this one, I know. She's asleep. I cannot show her at the moment. I can't do it. I need to get a dog cam. I need to get a dog cam. It needs to happen. This is actually kind of a tough wild double battle. They're doing some damage. I'm lucky he didn't go for the bug bite on Lillipup. Or on on Snivy. Okay, we're going for the Purloin. Bam! Down. Now we can catch stuff. Emerald mod hack like Row and Quartz. I think it has every Pokemon except for the Indigo Disc Pokemon. Ooh, okay. I know I did some testing of Pokemon Row a long time ago. Like right before I found Pokemon Inclement Emerald, I think. I think I was actually looking for Inclement Emerald and just misunderstood what I was looking for and downloaded Row. But I have heard it's been like updated and stuff like that. So it might be something that we investigate after a certain period of time. Oh, it was from Black and White. Oh, that's sick. No! Darn it. Don't bug bite me. No! Okay, so now I'm pretty sure I have to potion, or I'm just gonna faint, you know? That's not good. We're not Nuzlocking or anything, but I would rather catch this Pokemon. Snivy's gonna hate me now. Darn it. And see, this is why I certainly... And you get a crit! You little rascal, you. No one gave you permission to do that to me. No one gave you permission. Come on, Sawaddle. Just stay in the ball. You're a bug. You're a little lad. There we go. Or a little lass, rather. We got the Sawaddle. I'm happy about this. I don't know why, but it's always felt like Sawaddle is actually a very powerful Pokemon in the early game of Black and White 2. Always felt that way for some reason. Okay, so now we definitely have to go and heal up a little bit, right? We have a bloody double battle up here. I just now remembered that. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. Another really good thing that they this just sprung to my mind. Another really good thing that they implemented in this game is to make like grinding easier. It's still not the easiest thing in the world, but to make grinding easier, they added the like Audino encounters. So necessary. And I think this is the first game where they really did that, if I'm remembering correctly. Oh, not quite enough for the one shot. No! What a little devil. What a little devil you are. Bap. Be bapped. You are not good enough to survive the bapping. This is true. Is something happening? Okay, no, it's just a really long loading screen. Pokemon fact, did you know the Ultra Ball is actually Hyper Ball? That's why there's an H mark on top of it. I've never heard that. I have never heard that before. Interesting. That could be completely wrong and I would have no way of knowing it, so I'm just gonna assume that you are correct. That doesn't surprise me though. That does not surprise me. Alright. We should be able to take on this double battle. I have no idea what Pokemon they have, but we have a Sawaddle. Speaking of which. Oh, my timer's gonna really bother me. It's really gonna bother me. It's not even with the bottom of the picture. It's gonna frustrate heavily. 1 + 1 is not 3. You are correct. That's a long name. MLG Mars 9000 Blaziken Mims. Pokemon White 2 was your first Pokemon. Sadly, the last good Pokemon, but that's your opinion. It's one of my favorite Pokemon games. I'll say that much. As far as it being one of the last good Pokemon games, I can see where you're coming from. And I think you may be correct to a point, you know? But that's just, you know, I have really fond memories about Gen 6. I really want to explore Gen 7 now that I have a little bit more understanding of what they were doing with it. But I think it is one of the bright lights in Game Freak Pokemon games to this day, for sure. For sure. And it's just a double Sunkern, everybody. It's just a double Sunkern. That is that's totally fine. Welcome in, by the way. MLG Mars 9000 Blaziken Mims LOL. Hope your day has been going well. And if you're not aware of what we're doing, we are not speedrunning. Basically, what we are doing is we are timing a completely vanilla playthrough of Pokemon Black 2, as we have done with all of the Generations and/or games up until this point. And we're just timing how long it takes me before I start feeling bored with them, as a way to kind of dictate. Are you gonna give me great balls? You do! I have great balls. That's what she said. As a way to determine which one holds up the best to a modern kind of like expectation of what a good game is. So hopefully that helps to explain things a little bit better if it was obscured. Hi, it's your mom. It's nice that they've given us the whole like FaceTime capability here, but it doesn't make these phone calls any better. You know, even though they try to give you some game tips and stuff here and there, they seem to be more just like detrimental to the story, right? They just kind of pop in and stop what's currently happening and then just kind of, you know, go. Jigglypuff, Poplio, Armarouge, Braixen, Meowscarada, and Koraidon are your most favorite. Okay, we got some very, very new Pokemon in that list. That's a really interesting list to see. Thank you for sharing. Always good to know. There's some really good Pokemon in that list. I rate that. I rate that. I thought I was absolutely going to hate Meowscarada, but like, she gives me like, there's something about her. Argon? Who's Argon? Argon? Aggron. Well, that took my brain way too long to figure out what was being said. I don't know why, but it did. Holy crap. That took my brain way too long. All right. Yeah, we've hit a point in this game, like in this, I don't want to say in this game, because like I said earlier, this could still be someone's like first entry to Pokemon, but like, I feel like if that was the case for me, if this was the first Pokemon game I ever played, Aggron solos that team, I don't know about that actually. I don't know about that. Like, Armarouge and Meowscarada could give it some real problems, and Koraidon, of course, could wallop it. Wallop. Yes, I said it. I said it. I'm an old man. It is your first game. Well, how did you feel about the phone calls and stuff like that? Because for me, I feel like it's just kind of like it stops my experience in a way, you know? I feel like my chat's like all messed up here. Hold on, let me see if I can fix something real quick. I'm gonna pause the timer so that I'm not like biting into our time. I'm just gonna try to fix this window a little bit. Try not to mess up everything. Hold on. Bear with me, chat. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Do that. And then I think that's okay, actually. I think that's fine. Okay, sorry. That was just, I saw something in my ACDC. Got the better of me. Had to fix it. But I'm gonna unpause the game now. There's a lot to remember to have to do here. Okay. It's your first game design-wise, in your opinion. She's pretty. Yeah, I mean, you know, to each their own. I don't think she's like pretty necessarily, but something about her reminds me of The Witcher 3. You know, the whole like masquerade kind of vibe, which I've always really enjoyed. Thank you, Vincent Price, for that one. But yeah, it's just a really kind of cool concept, and one I didn't personally see coming. So I will say I do enjoy Meowscarada a lot more than I enjoy Incineroar. You know? And so Incineroar just rubs me the wrong way. I'm not a big fan, but Meowscarada is actually really cool. And her signature move is really cool. Gotta do computer homework. Oh no, well I wish you the best of luck. And I hope it goes by quickly for you. What kind of computer homework? You're too busy watching me. Well, don't let me interrupt your education, you know? You know? Although this is research of a sort. I'm the worst. Okay, so now we head down here, which I always get really excited to come into the Verbank complex because some really interesting Pokemon for early game here, I think. You know? Also, this is a really interesting trade. Really interesting trade. Would you like to give me a worse ball for a better ball? Yes, please. I would love that. Python. Ooh, okay. Yeah, see, those are the kind of computer classes I never took. I took computer engineering class for 1 year in high school. So I have a useless amount of information about the insides of a very old PC. It doesn't mean anything these days. But, you know, it is knowledge, I guess. Oh no, I'm getting bited upon, everybody. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. We're running. No biting on me today, please. I would appreciate it. Thank you very much. Oh, you're not gonna battle me, you little turd, you. Elekid. Ooh, see, another very cool kind of like early game Pokemon. It makes sense to give you very early game rather than, you know, waiting and giving it to you, you know, I don't know. Name the next mon after you. Well, actually, random, I'm not nicknaming any Pokemon in this project because, you know, it's not really like a Nuzlocke or anything like that. I'm just kind of playing it in the way that young me would play it, and I probably wouldn't nickname things because it just takes too much time. It kind of like interferes with the whole purpose. So we aren't nicknaming things, but I'm glad you're interested in having a Pokemon in a game that I'm playing named after you. That always makes me happy to hear. It was a very diplomatic way to respond to that, I know. Yeah, but like normally, like if I were doing just a playthrough on my own of Black and White 2 or Black and White, and I got Snivy, I would nickname it Evergreen because I normally do these days. But as a kid, I definitely didn't nickname my Pokemon, which is kind of lame on my part, in my opinion, you know? I kind of always wanted to be that person with like really interesting, really old save files to go back and like see what my Pokemon were nicknamed, but I've done that a couple of times now. Not one nickname. Not one. It's just Pikachu was Pikachu. Magnemite was Magnemite. You know, I was a very boring child, apparently. Like, it just didn't cross my mind. Maybe it just seemed too much work to play a game. I don't know. Magnimite. Yes. Magnemite. Magnemite. Oh, God. That's a different thing entirely. Magnemite. Sounds like a really, like, artsy cuisine, you know? Wow, okay, the audio kind of, like, phased there. Did you hear that? It was like, ba-doo, and then it went ba-doo-doo-doo-doo. Like, that was a little bit of engine trouble there, I think. A little bit of engine trouble. That does detract a little bit from the experience of Gen 5. Oh, you gotta go, random? Ah, bummer. All right, well, thank you so much for stopping by, as always, and have a great rest of your night. Got homework and Duolingo. Well, I wish you the best of luck on both. Yay, Magnemite. I got Magnimity. Bye-o. Let's go. Magnimity is here. Okay. No nickname. All right, so I forget the actual thing. You go down here and you battle these people. these popals, I've only got the one paralyzed heal though, it looks like. So we're going to go heal. No, we're not. We're going to get stopped. Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 is a great Pokemon game if you're trying to get... Dang it, heart emotion. I can't see what the people are saying to me. Heart thing needs to go away. YouTube, you need to find a better place. My camera's not here, it's here. YouTube, you need to find a better place for your heart emoticon because I can't read the comments. Really frustrating. It always cuts off that last bit and I don't know what's being said. So annoying. All if you're trying to get all the Dragonites or Alder's Dragonites, wait, it's something. I'll wait for the next message to come through. Type a 1 and send it, MLG Mars. What would you like to be called, by the way? Would you like to be called that or something else? Try to get a lot of Dragonites. You can fish level 10 Dragonites in this. What? Where? How? How do you do that? Level 10 Dragonites. How in the world? That's very interesting. As like an actual part of the game, or is that like post-game? I've never heard of that before. It's post-game. Oh, okay. Interesting. Is it? No, I feel like that was Gen 4 when they really started like focusing heavily on the like mystery gifts and like post-game content, you know? Which I will say now that I think about it, like Gen 6, when we were talking about Gen 6 earlier, I feel like it has almost no post-game. Like no good post-game at least. Is that just me? Or is that accurate? Ooh. Ooh. Lillipup do be a bit terrifying. Just a little bit. You feel the same way? Okay, good. I'm glad it's not just me, but yeah, I feel like Gen 6 just didn't have any good post-game. It's okay. I fat finger all the time. Don't worry. I do it all the time. Especially if I'm on my phone. Man, that is just a travesty to behold. Anything that I type on my phone, like, it's just bound to be full of spelling errors, which for me sucks because, like, I only ever notice it after I send a message or something, and then it's always just really bad. I accidentally called my landlord today Brenna instead of Brynjar because my autocorrect messed it up. Oopsie. A little bit embarrassing. Little bit embarrassing. I don't think he noticed, though. Get rid of these paralyses so we can get a move on here. Oh, and that's interesting. I thought the metal guy kind of like followed you. I guess not. I guess you have to go all the way back to the starting city if you do want to do the metal quests. Which is an interesting addition to this game. If you are like a, I don't want to say like a loot goblin when you play video games, but like an achievement kind of person. The medals are a kind of an interesting system, right? I feel like the medals are kind of an interesting system. I don't know that you really get anything for them, but they're definitely interesting to say the least. Oh, that's, you got to take these. You got to do these, and you have to get. You have to battle people to make them not lazy, right? You got to battle these guys, I think. Does not have post game, but they added post game for Omega Ruby. Omega Ruby. Oh no, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. I can speak, I promise. Yeah, and Zygarde got completely like shafted, right? There's just like no Zygarde until Generation 7, which is weird because he is a Generation 6 Pokemon, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking, honestly. It seems very, very strange and kind of ham-handed, so to speak. Do you have to speak to this guy first? Need you to get the workers of the complex fired up. Yes, I will help you. Okay, so you actually have to talk to this guy to trigger those encounters with his workers, which is interesting, whether you love or hate that. I think it's really interesting and it's almost immersive, you know? All right. Yeah, so you actually have to talk to him. That's kind of cool. I kind of appreciate and respect that. You know, it makes it feel more real. It's like, oh, you noticed, have you? Well, fine. I'll I'll go along with it for now, kind of thing. You know, it's neat. It's neat. I have a fire weakness though, don't I? Woohoo! I do be having a bit of a fire weakness here. I'm not gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. And you know, it's a bit of an interesting thing for these streams specific, because these are the only streams I've ever like done where I actually prefer a more like calm chat, because this is deep scientific research, right? I can't afford to be distracted by interesting conversations. No, no, no. I must be completely embroiled in my... And when I have 37 people, it's never 37 people, you know, but telling a story or talking about languages or something like that, it becomes very difficult. But this is cool, just vibing, talking about like old Pokemon games and stuff. This is a vibe for sure. Just vibing with a vibe, you know, as you do. As you do. Oh, you don't have... Darn it, man. I thought you would have had Sonic Boom. This coughing's going to be a bit of an issue, isn't he? We do land the Supersonic, though, which is nice. And you are physically defensive if my Pokemon knowledge does do me any favors here. Yes, I was correct. We get a crit and take him out in one shot. I thought he was going to be a problem. I thought he was going to be a problem, but boy, was I wrong. Okay, loading screens, loading screens. Okay. Oh no, I jumped in the grass like a noob. Just a noob being just a noob doing noob. Oh god, noob doing noob things, not a noob doing nude things. Oh, that's a different kind of stream. Oh dear, that's a misspeak and a half. Oh, level 100 Dragonites. See, that's where the heart emoticon kind of ruined that. You can fish level 100 Dragonites. I thought you were saying level 10 Dragonites. I was like, well, that seems illegal, but hey, I'll roll with it. Sure. Magnanimity. Oh, yeah, okay. You go for the bide. You go for the bide. I see you, little rascal. Stop that. Another really interesting way to add difficulty early game. Biding Patrat. You never see a Rattata do that. You see like Bidoof do it maybe. But never Rattata. I'll tell you that much. What energy? You're the laziest rat I know, Patrat. All you want are head pats. All you want are head pats. You are Pat's rat. Don't lie to me. Don't do it. Okay, we get the Thundershock off. And we're gonna sit here and tackle until he's dead. Or knocked out because it's Pokemon. Boom. Alright. We got ourselves a Magnanimity. Love that. Sonic Boom, there it is. There's the move I wanted. It was just one level shy. One level shy. At least we get it before we have to go up against an electric type. That would have just been a frustrating exchange. All right, we're just going to sit here and click Sonic Boom because it's a busted move. But he seems to have one of his own there, doesn't he? Yikes. Okay, well, as long as he doesn't crit me, we do live. So it would seem to a certain point they have done a little bit of work on the AI in this game. It is a bit smarter at the moment because watch, he's going to kill me here. Yeah, he sees the kill. He goes for the kill. It didn't kill me actually. Okay. I retract what I said, but I like the way he was thinking, right? I think that's one of the ways that this game actually increased the difficulty level in Pokemon. And that's by tweaking perhaps the AI and its ability to kind of have a brain of its own, which is really good. Really, really good. One of the things I enjoyed about this game is it always felt like the antagonists were actually like a challenge. And I touched on that a little bit before with the gym and the rival, but I feel like they do it in just about every aspect of this game, which I really enjoy. I really, really do enjoy it. And that should come as no surprise if you've been on the channel for a while, because I just play so much Radical Red. I just can't stop. I can't stop dying, is what I mean. I can't stop failing. I am a glutton for punishment and difficulty in video games. I always play things on like the hardest difficulty and everything, even if it's like Dark Souls. And well, Dark Souls doesn't really have difficulty options. It just is difficult, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm getting at, right? As long as the difficulty is fair, I'm all about it. I don't care how hard it is. I will sit and I will play it until I win. I don't know. You know, honestly, now I'm thinking about it, like thinking about Pokemon ROM hacks and stuff, it feels like all of the really, really hard ones, even like Radical Red at points, is hard because they allow the computer to cheat. And they take things away that are a part of the game. And those are the kinds of difficulty that I don't really appreciate all that much. The kind of difficulty I prefer much more is the difficulty that like wherein you're on an even level with the NPCs. They're just able to think and react in ways that make the game difficult. Something like Dark Souls, right? But they can't seem to figure that out in a Pokemon game, and that is slightly disconcerting to me. Gen 4 and Gen 5 is when they made Pokemon hard, but it's fun because it's fair. It just, yeah, exactly. It allows you to pay a little bit more attention to what's happening. And I don't particularly remember Gen 4 giving me the same level of difficulty. We're getting an Evo. It's our good boy. That's not a boy. Our good girl's evolving. Yay, happy days. But I agree with Gen 5. I don't remember Gen 4 being difficult, but like I said, I kind of lost interest in Gen 4. I don't know that I actually beat it. Maybe? I don't know. I'm not really sure. I definitely haven't beaten it recently. And yeah. I don't know where I was going. I do remember this game presenting a pretty sharp difficulty increase from what I was used to at the time when I did actually get around to playing it. And that's, I think that's the first time that I really noticed. I was like, ooh, I like a difficult game, you know? So again, Pokemon having a pretty big influence on me as a gamer, if you want to call me that. I don't know that I would call myself a gamer, so to speak, you know? Because the modern definition of gamer is like Call of Duty players, PUBG players, Fortnite people, that kind of thing. That's like what people expect when you say, hey, I'm a gamer. But it's not what they get with me, I'll tell you that much. Because I don't play any of those games. I need story. I need story more than anything. And I lowered your speed and you have quick attack. That's, see? Definitely not a gamer move, I'll tell you that much. I will tell you that much right now. Not a gamer move. Alright, Sawaddle, you're still a little bit too fragile to be taking on a Riolu, the bandit fox. You know, look at him, he's so cool. Riolu's a sick Pokemon, though. I will say that is one thing that sorry, pardon me. Gen 4 did well. Riolu. Pretty much specifically Riolu. Gen 3, you can just pick the starter and rush to the Elite Four because you get a Zigzagoon, a TM Slave, and you can beat the game. I mean, yes and no. I feel like Gen 3 has some challenge to it. But definitely less than this game. I really enjoy Gen 3's story. Like, Gen 3 is where they really decided to have like a really kind of like deeper storyline. So that's one of my biggest things about Gen 3. But it is definitely easier than this, so I can see where you're coming from. And I do know that people have done that Yeah, like Blaziken and Zigzagoon and just sweep the game. I don't know that I ever did or tried, but I know it is possible. Which, yeah, you definitely couldn't do that in this game because the starters feel almost lackluster compared to some of the other things. Because you're dealing with think about it, like late game in this, you're dealing with like Haxorus and Hydreigon, and you know, it spikes in difficulty for the encounters too, so they aren't just like vanilla easy things to catch. And you've got to deal with quite a lot of nonsense from Getsus, who in my opinion is one of the best like evil characters in a Pokemon game. Look, Growly! Look at him. Look at him in all of his proud glory. He is a lad. That is a lad. All right. We want this Growlithe. We want him. He's so proud. Just all dog team, you know? All dog team here in Pokemon White 2. It's kind of hard to keep things straight because I played vanilla Pokemon Black and then I jumped into White 2. So it's hard to not say Black, you know? Oh, okay. Growlithe does not want to be captured. He is he's a rough and tumble boy. He is a rough and tumble boy. Maybe even Great Ball material here. Maybe even Great Ball material. There we go. Do. Hey, Growlithe, let's go. It's a strong fire type. Strong fire type. The puppy Pokemon. The Pokemon that got shafted and should have actually been a legendary. Daggers, man. Daggers. All right. Onward. I think that kind of wraps up what we're supposed to do down here, if I'm not No, we've still got a couple of battles, don't we? We got to talk to this guy. We get Rock Smash. Ooh, that's actually not a bad thing to pick up right now. We can probably teach that to Herdiger. If I had to guess. I don't know what he's bashing rocks with other than maybe he's got a thick skull, you know? Maybe he's just a headbutter of epic proportions. It's kind of sick that you get return early on in this game too. Get it like a Stoutland with return. That's kind of sick. That's kind of sick. Like if you just spent time kind of grinding with Herdiger to make him like you and then taught him return early game, you could probably get a pretty decent way. Definitely not like full game sweep level Pokemon, but it'd probably carry you for quite a bit. Got you a copy of Pokemon Ruby, and first day you got to the Elite Four because of Blaziken outspeed. Yeah, the speed boost Blaziken. Yep. And Gen 3 is when they first introduced the natures. So I feel like it was a bit out of balance, you know? And Blaziken was the most like powerful starter in Gen 3, I think. And I think he's my favorite, actually. I don't usually have... My favorite starter is usually not the fire type, strangely. It's usually the water type, actually. Like Totodile and Squirtle. These are my favorites, right? But I think Torchic actually is my favorite starter over Mudkip and Chikorita. No, Trico. Wow. I screwed the pooch on that one, didn't I? All right, yeah, we had one more battle down here, and then we got to try to go get that scientist up there too, and I think we battle him at some point. Because doesn't he like run around and like try to evade us for a while? I think he does. Gen 5 speedrunners switch out the starters and catch a Lillipup because Lillipup is just stronger than the starters. See, I agree, and I'm glad that I wasn't wrong. Again, like it seems so unnatural for Lillipup to really be the, you know, the go-to for early game, but it just is that way. That's why he's a good boy slash girl, you know? Good boy slash girl. Everybody needs a good boy slash girl. That's what this game taught. You know? The most important thing. Wait, you can't access him from up here. You have to go... I'm confused, actually. How do I get to him? I thought I just ran through here. Huh. A little bit of a early game puzzle for all of you puzzle fans, all you Zelda people. Okay. The loading screens are gonna take a toll for sure, because I just spent a lot of time looking at black and white screens in this game. And I do feel my attention span kind of starting to wane a bit. Just a little, you know, not game ending or stream ending levels, but worth noting at this point, worth noting. And I've never really understood what's going on with the scientist. Like, he seems maybe not right there, but it seems like after a certain point, he's like playing hide and seek with you. Oh God, where did he go? Because he gets like really kind of like uppity, right? He tries to like run away from you. It's like, stop following me. Don't talk to me. I'm an awkward scientist. I don't know how to deal with people asking me questions in the real world. Kind of gives me those vibes. And if I'm remembering this correctly, he does anyways. And that's kind of funny. Kind of really an interesting way to inject a little bit of personality into the game. So as you know, as vanilla as Gen 5 can be, if you look at it from a completely objective point of view, I think they did quite a few things to kind of like inject some personality and some intrigue into this game where they previously hadn't in Pokemon games, at least not to the same extent. But yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell the level of effort was there, right? It's not a perfect game, but they definitely tried a lot of new things. And I think they've done that more in Gen 5 than any of the previous generations. I think. I'll probably be able to say a stronger yes or no to that when I get into the editing process of turning these into actual, you know, long form videos and comparisons and all that stuff. But that's my initial thought on them. I feel like they just went for it, you know. They had a lot of ideas, and they tried to get as many of them into the actual game as possible, and for the most part, it worked. For the most part. Won't say it was a flawless win, you know, but I'll deal with some of the graphic impurities, just for the amount of content that it feels like you're getting. Oh no, I feel a sneeze coming. Whew. All right, I was not wrong. That's good. Have a lot of side main story, and then you have the post game. Exactly, like they had a lot of ideas floating around. And I think they did a pretty good job of executing for the most part. All right, we can finally stock up on some, like, you know, early game necessities, in my opinion. The antidotes, the burn heals, the paralyze heals. You don't want to be running back to the Pokemon Center all the time. You just want to get a move on with your day, you know? You want to catch some interesting Pokemon. And yeah, I mean, I like a lot of the Pokemon in Gen 5 personally. Like Crocodile is one of my favorite Pokemon. I love him. He's so cool. You got Bisharp as well. Bisharp's really neat. I don't actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think there are too many fire type Pokemon introduced in Gen 5 either. I think it's mostly like, oh no, I just realized something. Can I fight the gym now? I don't know that I can fight the gym now. Do I have to go do that stupid like movie thing first? I don't think so. I think I fight the gym first, right? Feel free to challenge all of them. Need to stay hydrated. Okay, so I can fight the gym. That's good. That's positive. That's positive. And I really like the amount of time in between these gyms. I feel like they're spaced out well. Like, you get two pretty quick gyms back to back. Like, we're an hour and 50 minutes in, and we're at the second gym. Like, I feel like that's pretty strong progression for early game Pokemon. It's definitely something we're not going to see in Gen 6. Because that is one of the things I remember that's, like, at the forefront of my mind is just the amount of, like, time and space in between the first gym and the second gym is a little bit crazy. Just a little bit. All right, and I don't think Return would be very useful on Herdier at this point, just since he's, you know, we haven't had him for long. I don't think he's fainted yet, though, so that could be worth doing over Tackle even at this point. Might put that on him and just test, because I mean, what does it hurt? We're not nuzlocking, so if there's an opportunity for testing that kind of thing, it's right now. And maybe that's information we can take with us into the future. You know, always good. That's not great though. I don't like the poison. The animation does make things drag on in Gen 5 for sure. There we go. The crit tackle. Let's go. Pro American footballer out there. Herdier. Rugby Herdier. Ooh, that's kind of a decent nickname, honestly. I don't mind that at all. Just nickname Stoutland from now on Rugby. That'd be kind of cool. You know, always looking for good nickname opportunities to use in the Nuzlocks and the stuff like that. All right, we got the cough. Can we one shot again? Can we get another lucky crit? I doubt it, but I will certainly try. Almost, we do get another crit. It just wasn't quite powerful enough. Kind of a dagger, but kind of really cool at the same time. Then you have most of the legendaries to catch from the older games. In this game, is that true? Can you do that? Or is that... I do seem to remember something like that. Like, I think it's post-game. But like, once you beat the Elite Four, you go to that like dream laboratory or something, and then you have access to like... Is that what the dream radar is? Am I confusing the things? Probably, but I know what you're talking about. I at least somewhat remember that, which is nice. You know, it shows that my brain is alive still. It's always good to know. You know, if you were unsure, it's always good to be reminded of that. P-O-K-E. I don't like their song, though. I will say that much. Their song is a little annoying because that's their only lyric. Like, they put so much thought and stuff into this game except for that facet of it. So that's kind of funny. That's kind of really funny. Oh, I didn't even use the antidote. Look at me. I'm throwing already in a vanilla playthrough. You never thought you'd see it. But here it is happening in front of our eyes, no less. In front of the eyes, the eyeballs. Gen 5 is like Heart Gold and Soul Silver with all legends from Gen 1 to Gen 3. That's really cool, actually. That's really cool. Okay, I'll fight her and then I'll go back. And I didn't realize I was out of potions. So I'll probably have to buy some more potions before we fight Roxy. Which is fine. I'm okay doing that. Venipede! Oh, you're really good for Growlithe. You're really good level fodder for Growlithe. Absolutely. Absolutely, and we definitely outspeed you. I don't think Venipede and Whirlipede have speed boost. I don't think that happens until it's Scolipede, right? I think. Yeah, we'll switch. We don't want to get poisoned if we can help it. So Magnemite is a great answer to coughing. Having a Magnemite for this gym is kind of free. Because like a lot of Roxy's strategy, it seems like, is to poison you and just kind of like whittle you down. But if you have a Pokemon like Magnemite that cannot be poisoned, makes this gym a lot easier. And it should be quite easy in vanilla because like I said, the last time I played this game, quote unquote, it was the Drayano version, the Black and Blaze Black 2. And I think she has like a way around steel types in that game, but in this game, I don't think that's the case. I could be wrong. We'll see, I suppose. But if you're a fan of like, if you're a big Gen 5 fan and you're a fan of like difficulty Pokemon games, I highly, highly recommend Blaze Black 2 and Volt White 2. Really, really good. Really, really good. Even though you can't randomize them. If you could randomize them, they'd be like, they might even be better than Radical Red, honestly. If they had the same like quality of life and ability to randomize in game and stuff like that, might even be better than Radical Red. But they are a very, very enjoyable experience for sure. If you're a fan of that kind of experience, right? Oh, we got super potions now. All right. Buy 5 of those. Absolutely. Give me them. Nom nom nom. I don't know why I said nom nom nom. You're not eating a potion, hopefully. But you get the point, right? You get the vibe. We'll just stock up on potions. Just why not, you know? Why not? We have a decent amount of antidotes, burn heals, paralysis heals. I can't say that word tonight for some reason. I don't know why. But it does seem to be affecting me in a specific way. Oh, went too far. Went too far. That's on me. I made a goof. I goofed it up. Anything in the trash can? Nope. I'll never not be able to like check the trash cans, right? I always have to check the trash cans. I learned that from the SSN. SSN definitely taught me that. All right. And I look under every single truck, you know? Maybe there's a Mew under there. You never know. Yeah, stop saying Pokemon. Just stop. Just stop it, Roxy. You're never going to make it in the music industry if you don't get better lyrics. Has no one ever told you that? I really like your stripy jumper, though. Really nice. Really nice. I enjoy that. Reminds me of Beetlejuice. Or Beetlegoose. You know, however you want to say it. All right, so... Poison gas, maybe? Back, Growlithe, back! I'm really bummed that our Growlithe doesn't have Intimidate, by the way. That hurts me greatly. Oh, he just goes straight for the tackle. That's fine. We eat it. Yummy tackles. Very yummy tackles. Puffin is actually faster than Magnemite. It's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. The gas bag is faster than the magnet. All right, one more Sonic Boom will do it for the coughing. All right. Yeah, I'm still noticing, by the way, that my finger is just absolutely hammering on the A button through every moment, pretty much every moment of these battles and like anything that requires like even the animation of the Pokeball spinning and stuff. It just seems like slow. Rocket O'Sullivan, how's it going, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Been a very chill experience thus far. Very, very enjoyable, you know. In Gen 5, they just give you a free shiny in post-game. If you play Black 2, you get a shiny Gibble, and White 2, you get a shiny Dratini. That is definitely a benefit in my personal opinion. I do love myself a good shiny. I think my OCD would like make it not as enjoyable as it certainly could be. Because I would want to like, you know, earn my shiny and all of that boring stuff. He goes for the pursuit to take out the Growlithe. What a play! See, it's stuff like that. Like, he predicted I was going to swap there and went for it. I appreciate that from the AI in this game. I really do. And I don't think you would have seen that up to this point in a Pokemon game. Oh, he goes for the Protect! See, this is some beautiful AI, like enemy AI in a Pokemon game. Game Freak, go back to this. Go back to this, you know? It really bothers me, by the way, and I know we're a long ways off from like rating this game, but Scarlet and Violet, no matter what you do, and no matter if it makes sense for them to do it or not, the gym leaders always terrestrialize the same Pokemon, even if it puts them at a disadvantage. I don't like that. Shiny is free, but you have to beat a trainer first. Is he actually difficult? Knowing Black and White 2, he's probably a difficult trainer. And that means something to me. She only had 2 Pokemon? She only had 2. I thought she had more than that. Okay, whatever. Okay, I'll take it. Thank you. 2 gym badges in 2 hours. That's the way to do it. Maybe I am speedrunning. Maybe I am. Who knows? Who's to say? I like that it looks like a worm. Like a centipede. Or not a centipede, but a caterpillar. It's kind of cool, you know? Okay, so I told you to stop singing, but you can play some music. I mean, that'd be nice. I love Gen 5 music. Gen 5 has some of the best music in the Pokemon series, outside of the Cerulean City theme. Oh no! No. Don't force me into this. No! That might be it. That might be it for this, actually. This is what I've been fearing the whole time. I feel like, you know, about 30 seconds into the Pokemon or PokeStar Studios thing, the boredom is going to hit. I'm having to be very attuned to like my emotional fortitude in these streams, because I have to stop playing as soon as I feel bored, and I feel like PokeStar Studios is just going to be the death of the Black 2 playthrough. I really do. I've been dreading this since turning this game on, because I know this is just a slog through kind of absolutely no content. It's just like bad acting, which as a filmmaker, that is my profession if you didn't know, hurts. Like, I'm not even a writer or anything like that, but I know a bad performance when I see one, and this whole section is bad performance. It's real bad. Oh, it real bad. Oh, goodness. And it kind of bums me out that I look a little bit more like the guy on the left now. That bothers me. No. Okay. He's even got more hair than me. That's my choice. Okay. I'll live and die on that hill. Need a little more time to prepare. I'm so sorry, darling. Could you wait an easy moment? No, I can't. Me just being in your presence is making my like enjoyment meter just like I'm getting a really bad vibe. No. I've been hammering the A button, but boy, I'm hammering it now, even on this walk. Like, absolutely hammering. Like, just, you know, click, clickety, clickety, click. It's just instinct at this point. I didn't even need to make that sound, but that's what this is doing to me. I feel that getting older watching this, okay? I'm actually, like, I'm very keenly aware of every second that passes right now. And it's just like, I'm not even playing the game. It's this Pokemon reading simulator, man. Come on. I'm really trying here. I'm really trying here. And I might even already be on the border of cheating, you know, for this whole concept. I have to stop streaming as soon as I get bored. Please end. Just end soon. Please just end soon. Please just end soon. Come on, stop. Stop. This has nothing to do with Pokemon. This is the biggest, like, transgression in any Pokemon game, in my personal opinion. Like, this is just pointless. That's nice. You know, the old school, like, you know, that's a nice detail to add. So they get a little bit of a point for that. Midlife man of justice. No, man, you're just reminding me how old I am. Look at these terrible background cutouts. Why would they think this was acceptable? This is like a disgrace to Hollywood, which is what they're trying to emulate here. This is a disgrace to Hollywood. All we want from a Pokemon game is good gameplay and good story, music in Gen 5, emotional combined with big moments. Reason Gen 5 will forever be #1. I'm kind of right there with you until this comes up, you know? Like, the music is still decent. It's weird and kind of funky. You know, it doesn't really hold a candle to the rest of Gen 5's music, but okay, guys, I gotta be completely honest with you. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the timer because I am actually legitimately very bored right now. I'm stopping the timer at 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 35 seconds. I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording as well because, I mean, this is where I have to stop, right? I'm not even holding the controller. It's playing the game for me. How the fuck could I not be bored by that? I'm so sorry, and it pains me to say that this part of this game is just so bad to ruin the rest of Black and White 2 for me if I was playing games this way by nature, right? But that's what's happening here. So I have to end right here. You know, we made it over 2 hours in, which is a good mark. And when I average that out with Pokemon Black, it'll probably get a pretty good score. But I have to take it as it comes. And this is going to be the end of the stream for tonight, guys. Thank you all so much for coming out to watch me try to figure out which Pokemon game holds up the best to a modern perspective and a modern attention span. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. streaming schedule up on the community page and on the Discord if you're interested in that kind of thing. And I will see you all around. Have a great rest of your night.